Hello everyone, my name is Zo, and we are finally back. After 2 months break, we ended up quitting the Necropolis League pretty early because it was kind of stale. For me anyway, I just didn't have more fun in Trade League, Rootless, or even SSF. So I decided to go play a bit of World of Warcraft to remember the good old days of Classic and Vanilla. That being said, GGG announced a couple days ago what seems to be the biggest league since the introduction of 10 acts. And not only that, it seems to be the biggest melee rework. And since it is a melee rework, well, that is what I'm gonna play. I'm gonna try and make my favorite skill in this game, Cyclone. I'm gonna try to make it good. And I'm gonna try to make it good not as a Shockwave Slayer or Juggernaut like the one I did in SSF last league, but I am hoping that the reworks are so good and so strong that I'm gonna try to make it as a dual wield Slayer. Speaking about Slayer, this is a POB I cooked up for this league start. I was waiting for POB to update, introduce the new values for Cyclone to be able to see pretty decently and pretty closely how the damage it would look like, and it does look pretty well considering the gear. This is, in my opinion, a gear that is kind of easily achievable in the first couple of days, in the first weekend of the league. As you guys can see, the weapons, 432 physical DPS jewel foils, attacks, they're like tier 3 rolls. This should be doable. The two uniques, the Abyssus and the Braunlitters, the Braunlitt Cutthroat Garb should be cheap enough, right? Early league. All these items are just couple 20, 30, 40 C at league start. They have a bit of suppression, but they're all like tier 2, tier 3 rolls. None of this is tier 1 roll. Steel rings? Well, steel rings are back, baby. We're gonna craft the heck out of them, because with the changes they introduced this league, added flat damage is a lot more important than before. We don't have added flat damage on skills anymore, and that is why all the added flat damage we can get on gear is very, very important. That is why you're going to see added physical damage on both my rings, amulet, and also gloves. So as you guys can see, this gear is, as I said, decent. It shouldn't cost more than 2-3 divines at least start in total. The jewel is not that important. This is maybe the most expensive piece, because this is like a perfect jewel for this build, but you don't need it. This is just a showcase of what I'm gonna be looking for. All right, the tree and defenses and stuff. Well, we're gonna try to get as much block and spell suppression as possible. With these 3 layers of defense and of course endurance charges, because this is gonna be an endurance charge meta, we will try to be very, very tanky. Now, I don't know what these numbers are gonna look like once we get our gear, but for now they look pretty well. So as I was saying, we're gonna go dual wield. We're gonna grab all the dual wield nodes. Other than dual wield nodes, we're gonna grab a lot of block nodes, because we want to cap our block chance at 68%. And unfortunately, I'm not gonna cap the spell block chance to 65%. I'm gonna have like 52, as it says over here. I don't know, maybe from some piece of gear or something we can get some more. Maybe tattoos, I don't know. But this is a basic skill tree without, any crazy improvements. So we're gonna have that much spell chance. We're gonna have spell suppression. This is only from gear and from these nodes. Now, if you wanna drop something like some more damage and get more spell suppression, you can easily do that. Keep in mind that we have spell suppression lucky, so the more nodes you get, the better they're gonna be. Another thing we're gonna use this league that we didn't really use before is gonna be Rage. We do have a couple of Rage passives. I think like this one over here, 4 plus 10 maximum Rage and some Rage on hit, so we're gonna hit often. The Rage is gonna go up pretty fast. Rage is a more multiplier now, so with 40 Rage is gonna be 40% more damage. Other than that, we have Impale. We're gonna use a couple of Impale nodes, like these ones here. We have almost 100% Impale chance, so that is good, because we will also use the Impale skill gem, as I'm gonna show you in a sec. And other than that, just some standard sword and crit multi nodes, maybe with a bit of extra physical damage nodes from here. Another trick we're gonna implement, because if it's like this, like it says over here, these are some insanely strong nodes. Crit strike chance and crit strike multi against bleeding enemies. These two nodes give us 20% chance to cause bleed. So because we're gonna attack very fast with Cyclone, we're gonna bleed the enemy probably in the first second. So after the first second, we're gonna do a lot of extra damage because of these three nodes to bleeding enemies. So that is cool. That helps a lot with damage. I love this new leader of the pack aura efficiency cluster they added over here. It seems to be that it's a lot better than the old one, the Champions of the Cause. So that's huge. And another really big thing is Valpact. Like, I don't know, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try to be a Slayer without Overleech, without Brutal Favor. I don't know how it's gonna feel, but I'm definitely gonna try it. So, with Valpact, with 1 point in life and mana leech, and with Blood Rage, we're gonna, I don't know, it says in PoB we're gonna have 5.8k life leech rate. Not sure. If it's gonna work like this, it's gonna be kind of crazy to have this much lead whenever we're cycloning. That is nuts, in my opinion. So I did not take Brutal Favor. Now, if it's gonna suck, of course we can remove it and remove one of these ascendancies, probably Masterful Form, and try Brutal Favor, of course. Okay, let's go to skills. We don't want to make this guide too long. We have Cyclone. We're linking it to Pulverize. They changed Infused Channeling. I love it. So definitely Infused Channeling. I'm going to use Close Combat for the more attack speed on Leaf Slam and stuff. That should make Leaf Slamming very fast after a bit of Cycloning. Impale, definitely, and Brutality or Melee Fizz. If you have some weapon that has flat damage, or you have a source of non-physical flat damage, you can drop Brutality and get Melee Fizz. It should be a bit better. For auras, we're going to use Pride, and we're going to use Purity of Elements. Because our suffixes on gear are kind of needed for accuracy, we are an accuracy starved build, unfortunately. So that is why Purity of Elements is an easy fix for resistances and also elemental ailment immunity. We have a small precision, I chose to keep it at level 9, so I have 5% mana left. And Blood Rage, our curse is going to be Assassin's Mark, applied with Mark on hit, easy peasy. We're going to have Leap Slam or Whirlwind Blades. This is another thing I will have to try out. Leap Slam or Whirlwind Blades links to faster attack, life tap. And we're going to have Enduring Cry to get those enduring charges going on a boss or something whenever we are not have killed anything yet or blocked anything, because that is how we are gonna get our endurance charges while blocking. Deflection says over here, chance to gain endurance charge when you block. It doesn't say you block with a shield, it says when you block, so I'm really hoping it works with when you block while dual wielding also. 2 nodes, not that big of a deal, 2 points, but yeah, that endurance charge when you block is really important. If we're gonna get another endurance charge generation, like from a Legion Jewel, then we can drop these and get it somewhere, get some points somewhere else, but I'm not gonna worry about that just yet. Also, I don't have any cluster jewels in this tree because it's a League Star tree, right? Automation, Immortal Call. Immortal Call is gonna be pretty big. It's gonna delete our endurance charges, but it's kind of big. We will see if Steel Mage is gonna be better or not, but at the moment I've chosen Immortal Call. Another thing we can use now that we have sockets and we don't have because we don't use totems, right? We're gonna use definitely a banner, and we're gonna have Val Haste. This is our only Val skill, so it should do quite a lot of damage when we're gonna pop it, right? It's like 10% more damage, more than that. Okay, well, this is the tree. I'm gonna go and try to level a character up all the way into maps and see how it's gonna feel. I'm gonna definitely level with Cyclone and dual wield once I'm gonna get there, but until Cyclone it's gonna be probably like Frostblades into Sunder, and then yeah, into Cyclone. It should feel pretty well. It's definitely gonna feel a lot better than Marauder. I tried Marauder, I really wanted to make another build. I might make it as my second build because that build needs a bit of gear to get going. But for now, I can't wait to try Slayer Cyclone. It should, and hopefully it is almost as good as in Legion, because in Legion it was amazing. With all this bleeding, I'm really considering this. Where are you? Gracious Violence, bleeding enemies explode. I'm really considering those those jewels to get the glad bleed, you know, just for the feels good on the build whenever we're gonna get a lot more divines. But yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself, so let's stop with this for now. As I was saying, I'm gonna go try to level it up, see how it's gonna feel. It's gonna feel a lot worse now than in the patch, but hey, we gotta try it. We gotta practice somehow, right? Alright, this being said, welcome back, guys, and thank you very much for watching. Thank you for being here. It does mean a lot. Keep walking, Exiles. The next map awaits you.